Caution, bus is turning right.
Whatever this lady said, she's take care of it.
Yeah, she said we have to wait for the can you tell him what we can
Here in Savannah, Georgia, and the surrounding areas. I'm actually going to take us on the second stop here this afternoon where Tom Hanks himself was right here in Savannah, Georgia. He sat on that bench and he filmed the famous scene from the movie Forrest Gump, Life's Like a Box of Chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Pretty heard you guys were coming to town, so we took the bench from the square. We moved it inside the museum to our left here behind us. That way we can charge $11 a person to see it now. And that's special. Over to the right here, these are actually old cotton rails, okay? We store the cotton in. Well, in 1979, everybody, a small arc hit passed into the wrecked bit building. Look behind them on the right of the ones that have not restored yet. It gives you a better appreciation. You look through the windows and solar panels, they still might look that fancy to you. Kind of block. They just saved them for historical value. So if you're in town the next day or two and you see on every other car, building, bus, especially with the big letters on the side of it, SCAD, S-C-A-D, just take note if you care to. Again, SCAD is an abbreviation, again, for Savannah College of Art and Design. They own 49 buildings in Savannah. They're everywhere. They bring over $600 million a year revenue to the city. So SCAD's worth $600 million a year to Savannah's economy. So they let them do what they want. Now, speaking of SCAD one more time, in South Carolina, if you cross the bridge heading north, you're about a mile from the South Carolina line. You're 50 miles south of Hilton Head, 120 south of Charleston, Chuck down. But here's our little visitor center here with the funny trolleys on that funny looking roof, okay? We're going to dip down here. She's just going to check it. And keep all your arms and legs inside, crazy as that may sound. But man, I'm in a good mood. It's Christmas week. Let's have us some fun, everybody. You ready to go back to a bit of time travel? Come on then, let's go back to April of 1732, everybody. Now, in April of 1732, our founder, General James Edward Oglethorpe, had a friend who died in debtor's prison. Back in the day, didn't have bankruptcy court. They would just throw you in prison if you owed money. Well, he wrote an architecture book. He didn't say very well. Well, our founder was a good Christian, man. He felt he had to do something. Well, at the same time, King George II of England, everybody, really wanted to set up a military buffer between the already established English colony, which happened to be Charleston. Charleston was actually founded in 1670. He wanted to protect Charleston from the Spanish missionaries down in Florida he thought could possibly invade north and jeopardize Charleston. So our founder, General James Edward Oglethorpe, was granted a charter to come set up this military buffer. They took 114 people out of debtor's prison. They loaded them up onto a little rickety ship called the 1833, about a half-mile north to our left here, right by Bay Street, everybody. Now, Bay Street used to be called the Yamacraw Bluff in honor of the Yamacraw Indians. Now, one of the very first persons they encountered when they landed February 12, 1733, was a chief of the Yamacraw Indians. His name, everybody, happened to be Chief Tomachichi. Now, again, Chief Tamachichi. He did actually stand over 6 foot tall. He had bear claws tattooed all over his chest. I'm looking back here seeing a boyfriend in somebody's future. He's considered the unofficial co-founder of Gorgia. We're going to talk more about him. Now, we come up through this library, guys. We're officially going to be in the very first official planned city in all of America. Savannah, Georgia is the very first planned city in all of America. Our founder actually laid Savannah out on the 4 wards on a paper surrounded by 6 squares. These squares we're going to talk about here today. Now, these 6 squares were laid out via grid style strategically through the city here, guys. And initially, like we just talked on these squares, so they had multiple uses. More about that as we go along here. But I got one question to ask everybody. Y'all ready to get excited? We're visiting this local district of Savannah. Come on, man. You paid good money to ride this limo. Come on, man. In over a 100-year period, we actually let out a total of 24 squares, everybody. And why the squares look totally different throughout the city now? Because in the 1850s, we didn't need the squares for protection anymore. We started planting all these live oaks that are to our left. Believe it or not, most of these live oaks are actually planted in the 1850s. Write that name down. It'll be on your pop quiz later. Everybody knows who the founder of the Girl Scouts is. What a wonderful organization. Juliet Gordon Lowe started right here in Savannah, Georgia. Don't get much cooler than that. Now, guys, this beautiful Spanish moss here to our left, right, everybody. It's not Spanish. It's not really a moss. In its simplest form, everybody, Spanish moss is really an air plant, the pineapple family. Well, believe it or not, it gets its nutrients from the air, the rain, and the microscopic dust particles. We'll run that in a second. They didn't like the Spanish because in modern times, to our left here, Spanish beer became Spanish moss. And every time in the South and look out and see Spanish moss, it looks just like a Spanish burrito with his long beard and his helmet on it. So that's actually how it got its name Spanish, even though it's not Spanish or a moss. It was called Spanish beer back in the 15th century. Now back to Spanish moss, everybody. You really don't want to handle Spanish moss. Spanish moss has microscopic red bugs inside of it. They're called sugars. It's actually a microscopic lice. You're not going to go out here and grab a handful of Spanish sugars. I didn't wear a shirt growing up as a kid. I grew up in the 70s where kids didn't wear shirts, actually climb trees and play around. Looked like somebody shot my mom would let me across the bed and put about 100 drops of clear fingernail polish and make them come up out of your skin. You don't want a case of sugars. I'll leave it at that. This beautiful church hill, right, guys, is the Independence Presbyterian Church. Unfortunately, it burned down and reopened back in 1790. Woodrow Wilson, everybody, one of our former presidents, married his first wife inside this beautiful church. But the church here, get your camera ready, guys, is really famous for the steeple and clock out in front of it. You see everybody looking up at steeple and clock. That lady looking at that steeple, it's very famous. A very famous movie scene was filmed out here in front of it. It is not Back to the Future. If you're on my side of the trolley, look up through the sliding windows here on the right just a second, okay? We're going to do a little movie trip. I get past this white SUV by this red car on the right, in between the trees here. If you care to, look over to the right here, see if you recognize this steeple and clock built the scene of a very famous movie when a feather drifts down by that steeple clock on the right here, and it drifts down between a gentleman's feet wearing a prairie knife. She just said it. Forrest Gump, everybody. Forrest Gump was filmed right here to open the scene. If you go back and YouTube it. Now, right where this white truck is, of course, it's blocking it. Right where this white truck is, guys, is truly with a bench set where Tom Hanks was right here in Savannah, Georgia, and he filmed that famous scene, Life's Like a Box of Chocolates. See the statue above the truck that's back to us? If you go back and YouTube it, and you look right over Tom Hanks' shoulder, you see the back side of that statue. Unfortunately, I can't help this truck's blocking the view right here. We'll come back around the square. Hopefully, he'll be gone by then, okay? But that is truly with that famous scene, Life's Like a Box of Chocolates, was filmed right here on the other side of that truck. Isn't that a beautiful visual? Of course, you had to block that. All right, now guys, here behind the church on the right, speaking of better views, look how beautiful the steeple looks from this unobstructed perspective. If you care to, look back to the right. I think it's gorgeous. Look at all these azaleas to our left here, guys. Can you fathom how beautiful Savannah is now in wintertime? What it must look like in the springtime, all the whites, the pinks, the smells, the vivid colors. It's incredible. Look how beautiful the city is now in the dead of winter. Come on over to 65 degrees, everything's in full bloom. Knock your socks off. You think the city's pretty now? Look, everything's dead. Look how beautiful green Savannah is. Look at the beautiful mansion here on the right, guys. Notice the beautiful tree, your Christmas tree on this porch still. This is the Eastman Mansion from 1848, but notice all the wrought iron railing indoor fence around this home. During the Victorian era, the more wrought iron railing indoor fencing you have around the home, the more you would consider wealthy, guys. Just like Mr. Easton did pretty good for himself. He did pretty good. He's on board. He was a beautiful family. He's from High Point, North Carolina. He did pretty good for himself. He's a local celebrity up there in Carolina. Nice to have another Tar Heel on board. Now back to our left, guys. Here he is out here in the center, the man himself, the founder of Gorgia, General James Abenobelthorpe. He's stationed us in the South. He has a sword drill and he's ready for all business. Now most young kids out here think our founder looks like a pirate. But listen, most parents out here on the left, they think he looks like Captain Morgan. Hey, somebody finally got out here all day, unfortunately. Trying to put some brace on the kid. All right, write this name down. Going to be in your pop quiz later if you stay with me. William J. Now, William J., everybody, was a brilliant English architect from Bath, England. He was only in Savannah for about 4 years, but he fundamentally changed the architectural landscape of Savannah, Georgia. He got his first commission at the age of only 23. One of his famous designs is going to be coming right up here in front of us on the right. This is going to be stop 2 on your map, okay? Stop 2 here coming up here, guys. That doesn't matter. What were you doing December 4th of 1818? Giving plays right here in Savannah, Georgia. We'll talk about it in just a second. Let's put it in case somebody wants to get out. Statue of it right over, guys. Johnny Merchant Savannah grew up very, very humble, very poor. But let's hear a quick story, guys. He went on to do pretty good for himself. From humble beginnings outside of Savannah on a dirt road, he went on to become the co-founder of Capital. Look at this beautiful city to our left. What a day to be in Savannah, Georgia. Somebody love and care about. God is good if you put your phone on. Almost want to be thankful. What a day to be in Savannah. Now, guys, you got a much better perspective right here by the driver, the truck left, right by this little Chippewa square sign, right here by the driver, me, is truly where a bench set. They didn't move it inside the museum, they can charge you. If you go back on YouTube and look over Tom's show, they're all melted down for bullets and cannonballs. But local legend has it, if you get a picture of this downspout, when it rains, the water pours out of its mouth, wash away the evil spirits, and brings you blessings. I know I'm living a blessed Christian life. If you've got too many blessings in your life, I just rub your head and take some of yours. But here on the right, by the tree, the little fish downspout, they're very coveted. You'll see people giving tours. It's very, very coveted right here. Who couldn't use extra blessings in their life? I get pictures of them all the time. I got hundreds of pictures of them. Let's keep it going. There's a 6-pence pub with a Christmas tree and no telephone booth. Everybody likes a 6-pence pub. All right, everybody, get ready. The tour's about to get a little scary, okay? We're coming up to not only the most haunted home in Savannah, one of the most haunted homes in America. You'll be stop 3 on your map. The Sorrel Wheat House. It's coming up here where the red brick wall is on the right here, about 50 yards right here, guys. Very famous haunted home right here on the right, okay? Ghost Hunters has been here. TAPS has been here. The basement of this home was actually used as a Union hospital. It talks about Ghost Hunters right on the gate, okay, to the right. So we tell you something on our tour, we don't embellish anything. Very famous haunted home right here.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
Look how beautiful everybody, the steeples of the cathedral coming to be. I think the further you get away, the more majestic they look like some of our Harlequin romance. Keep looking back to your left here behind the soda on the top of these magnolia trees. Look how beautiful that setting looks. Keep looking back to your left. Isn't that just gorgeous? I think the further you get away, the more majestic they are. I think they're stunning. All right, guys, here we go. Gentlemen, get your camera out ready. Right in front of us here, General Sherman's headquarters. Gives me goosebumps every day, guys. Look at this beautiful setting out through the driver's fence window where the fence is here. Look at this wonderful live oak that leans over the road here and envelops you like a science fiction movie. But here it is, guys, right out through the front of the trolley, General Sherman's headquarters. Look down the sidewalk to sheer profile size of this home. Look at the iron fence here, guys. Look at the ironwork. Look at the second stroke window. It's incredible. But here it is, the world famous green Belgium home here on the right, guys. It was built and owned by a wealthy cotton merchant here, where the fence is right here, the gate fence, whatever you like to call it. Again, he wanted Sherman to stay his personal home here on the right. That way he could eavesdrop on Sherman, okay? Look down beside it when it comes in view to carry to the beautiful ornate ironwork. Nobody ever alludes to the ironwork in Savannah. There are sister cities with New Orleans. It took 3 years to build this beautiful mansion between 1850 and 1853. Look at that second-story master bedroom on the back of it. Look at the plaque right here on the right, guys. What's the top of that plaque say? Sherman's headquarters. It gets no more famous. Now, guys, when Sherman left Atlanta, Georgia, burned into a crisper on November 16, 1864, our president at the time, Abraham Lincoln, in all sincerity, had no idea what Sherman was getting into. Unfortunately, William Tecumseh Sherman had one thing and one thing in mind only, okay? It caused as much psychological as well as physical damage. Burned everything from Atlanta towards Savannah, guys. He had a... You ain't gonna find that high point. All right, guys, we're gonna cross over Jones Street here. I know y'all remember the famous saying, keep it up with them Joneses. Here it is, to our left to right, Jones Street. Look at all the people taking pictures on it. It's only 12 blocks long. Southern Living has declared Jones Street of Savannah one of the top 10 prettiest residential streets in all of America. Look back, turn right, it looks like Brooklyn brownstones, the beautiful homes with the front porch, the flags, the porches. It's like some, I think, are beautiful. The trees out front, look at the porches. There it is. Look at the sun, is that a beautiful setting? Top 10 prettiest streets in America according to Southern Living. I didn't say it, they did. Look at this beautiful square as we approach this square, guys, on this beautiful Wednesday. This is Monterey Square. But look at that beautiful marble monument out here in the center, everybody. Now, if you ever go to Tybee Beach and pass past Fort Pulaski on the left, enjoy him for a second. He's a true hero. What a day to take him out there and just tell you you love him. Now, guys, General Count Casimir Pulaski was so instrumental in teaching American soldiers how to fight from horseback. He's really considered the father of American cavalry. He offered up his services directly to George Washington during the Revolutionary War. Now again, he is truly considered the Polish, again, aristocrat, the father of American Carolina. Reminded me here actually wrote cannons. Look up top when he comes in to do that's Lady Liberty. Now my hat's off to that man. He's a true hero in Savannah. He gave his life for this country on October 9th, 1779, of doing all things. The father of American cavalry, guess what, was leading the cavalry charge. Unfortunately, he took a point-blank musket shot. He found Marshall Williams' house, everybody, from the book and the movie. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Here it is right here, ladies. Right beside his home right here is where Clint Eastwood directed the movie starring Kevin Spacey. Again, John Cusack. Does he get more famous than Clint Eastwood or John Cusack in the mid-90s? I don't think so. But here on the right, everybody, to the right, with the front left bottom window, she keeps open. Man, he shot his assistant lover, Danny Hansford, point blank in the back 3 times, right here in front of that front belt left window. He said that Danny was trying to attack him. He dropped dead right here in that front left bottom floor, right there in that front office. Jim, unbeknownst to him, was actually put on trial for murder. He said he was defending himself. Let me ask you a question. How do you shoot somebody in the back point blank center attacking, they're running from you? On the 4th trial, they finally moved out of Savannah. Jim Williams, guess what? He's acquitted. Not a song dropping you guys off. That'd be like going to New Orleans, so you don't like jazz music. That's what puts Savannah tourism on that. In the book, in the movie, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. We'll delve into a little bit more. That's a cute looking dog. Like a sponge. Look out to the front of this trolley, guys, that beautiful fountain cascade. And there it is. There's Forsyth Park in that fountain. There's only 3 of those triple fountains in the world. You're looking at one of them right now. His sister lies in Paris and Peru. You ain't got to go to Paris. You live right out front of it. How about that? I think it's simple. That beautiful setting. Besides the lake, right on the property. Private owner, right? He bought it for Here's our Marine War Club, guys. Take a moment there to forget about our Marine veterans, okay? And all 5 of our service branches men and women this afternoon. Where would we be this afternoon without a veteran without his or her sacrifice? And the veterans, of course, thank you so much for your sacrifice and service. Look at that fountain before I got to turn. What a beautiful day. Don't get no better than that, does it? Look at that beautiful home to our left here. Look at these marble steps. Look at these big marble. I bet it's £100 for the steps. Look at these marble steps here. You know how much marble costs nowadays? Go buy you a 10-foot slab of marble like that. A countertop's $15,000. Get the marble steps. Lots of money in this town. I heard they're from Higher Point, North Carolina. They got plenty of money. Now, guys, over at Charlotte, that's one of my favorite little private homes here by this big oak with these folks walking in front. Look at this beautiful home here. It's always spoken to me. Look at the ivy on this. Look at the line in the front. Look at the side porch. Look at the gas light on the porch. Look at the light. It's just so setting. It's beautiful. Look at that setting. It's always spoken to me. It's very regal, very classy. Look down beside it. The glass lights on the side and the big room off the back with the chimney. Look at that big $10 million home just tucked away. Now, what you looking at? All right. About $600 away. All right, guys. Would anybody care before I let these folks on? Look at this beautiful building. This building to our left here, guys, used to be the old Fox and Weeks funeral home. They converted this old funeral home here and turned it into a 4.5 diamond restaurant right here. Look up between the upper windows to our left here, some of that brickwork. I think it's incredible. Masonry work is beautiful. Very nice place. Everybody loves a $25 cocktail. Makes you feel good myself. Yeah, very nice restaurant. Check out the order menu. Look at this beautiful park out in front of us, guys. It's over 30 acres. It's been there since 1851. A decade, there's actually a decade over in New York Central Park trail up here. If you Google it, check into it. Forsyth Park, you know, like I said, was opened in 1851. If you look at it, if you Google it, New York Central Park was not even let out on a blueprint map until 1858. So we're truly a decade older than the world famous New York Central Park right here in Savannah and Forsyth Park. Over to our right, this beautiful building, guys. It opened in 1802 for sailors and poor people today. But look down the roof line. Look at the corners of it. Look at the stairs. The column architecture, I think it's a beautiful building. Be 221 years old, not 121, 221. I think it's simple. I love the look at the architectural details. Now get your camera ready on the right, everybody. My favorite oak tree's coming up here in about 5 seconds on the right here. It's called the Candler Oak. We've had some arborists determine this tree's it's a 400+ years old. Look at this beautiful tree here on the right. Imagine that thing's off the size of a sesame seed on a hamburger bun. Look at the top of the trunk where the branches come out. It'd take 3 or 4 men to arms around the trunk of that tree. Imagine what that thing's endured for 400+ years. The stories it can tell you. Pretty cool. I'm going to show you guys the only Gothic designed synagogue in all of America. It's right here in Savannah, Georgia, right where that white car just pulled out to our left. The only Gothic designed synagogue in all of America is right here in Savannah, Georgia, Temple McVisral. So when I go to turn right here, it's right here by the left by this car right here, this SUV. Look at the dome of it. When I go to turn right, if you care to, look back up top to our left. It's beautiful. Pretty cool. There's a big Jewish community in Savannah. But we're going to come into stop 5 on your map, guys. Stop 5, okay?
Good afternoon. I am not Rosie the Riveter.
The second major prohibition, like we talked about earlier, was a Christian. He said no hard liquor run a family, beer and wine was acceptable and are tolerated, okay? His third prohibition, no Catholics. That was his way of religion, saying no Spanish, because Spain and England happened to be a major conflict in 1733. And also, guys, believe it or not, his last prohibition is kind of funny, is no lawyers were allowed. I think that's kind of funny. He thought lawyers already created trouble. He was ahead of his time, wasn't he? Before Morgan and Morgan took over. Now, if you look back to our left right here, guys, look how beautiful the steeples of the church look to our left right here. Less than monumental. I've always been a keen time climbing up those things. We're cross back over Jones Street again. Top 10 pretty streets in America. By 7-Eleven's a county anyhow. Now we talked about her earlier, guys, the founder of the Girl Scouts, Juliet Bordeaux, again, started them right here. Now when I go to turn right here at the yield sign, if you look about 75 yards back to your left, you're going to see a big mansion with an iron fence around it. That's the Angel House. If you look back on the driver's side there as it comes into view, where the flags are, guys. If you walk behind that big mansion, everybody's a little carriage home, okay? And that's actually the headquarters of the Girl Scouts of America. So you walk around out the home there, they're selling cookies over there. Not to be missed. As I go to turn left here, right off to the right where the flags are, this beautiful building, house, rather, is the very first residence home here in Savannah to have electricity in 1883. Look at that front door, that Tiffany chandelier from 1910. I think it's beautiful. Walt Disney himself stayed here, guys, in 1959. Now here's highlighted the tour, guys, right out in front of us, okay? The world famous Cathedral Basilica of St. John the Baptist. Look down the right, the beautiful cathedral. It's incredible. There's only 6 to 8 basilicas in the whole world, everybody. It took 23 years to build this beautiful cathedral. It started construction in 1873. It wasn't completed until 1896. You got to go to the cathedral. That'd be like going to Paris and say to make it to the Eiffel Tower. Let's check it out. Look at these bell towers. We'll come along here, guys, but there it is. It's still got the Christmas decorations right here. Guys, again, so imagine the population of Savannah, Georgia was about 11,000 people. Imagine a city of 11,000 being inundated by 62,000 plus Union soldiers. So about 10 seconds to the right where the fence comes right, this is Colonial Park Cemetery, guys. Now, at one time, this cemetery housed over 9,000 people. There's only 603 people inside the cemetery. If you look at the brick sidewalk here, look at all these circles in this brick sidewalk right here, guys. Every one of these circles in these bricks represents somebody we buried over in the cemetery, guys. The cemetery went almost 4 blocks to our left on the driver's side. When Savannah started expanding 100 years ago, let me ask you, where do you move 9,000 people who's been in the ground since 1750? We didn't have to pay respect, so we just kept a tally of all the headstones. All these circles, ask any tour guide in Savannah, they're in Colonial Park Cemetery. Now, guys, why is a cemetery called a cemetery and a graveyard called a graveyard for the same thing? We're just trying to have fun. We're just all trying to learn something, guys. A graveyard is called a graveyard because it's connected to a church. A cemetery is called a cemetery because it's a standalone entity. Now, guys, Nathaniel Green's a very famous man, guys, from Rhode Island. He was actually nicknamed the Fighting Quaker, the savior of the South, guys. He was actually in charge of all the forces in the Revolutionary War, all the way from Delaware down to South Carolina. Now, across the street to our left right here, guys, this beautiful little church here with the wooden cross on the driver's side is the second oldest African-American congregation. It was actually founded in 1802. Now, when Sherman, like we said earlier, when he left Atlanta, by the time he got to Savannah, he had already freed over 10,000 slaves. A lot of them slept right here. Sherman met and liked the minister of that church so much at the time that he truly attended that church every Sunday. So William Tecumseh Sherman truly attended the Second African-American Baptist Church every Sunday while occupied Savannah. It's pretty incredible. It gives me goosebumps. Imagine some of that history's transpired. Right here, the second. We're going to talk about the first one at the end of the tour, the oldest African-American Baptist church. But look out there in front of the trolley, ladies, that little red home with the porch light. Smallest home in Savannah. It's only 500 square feet. Little gingerbread house. Little chimney to the left of it. I think it's adorable. There it is. Just recently sold for $392,000. They bought it. Let's see the key panel right there. They bought it. I was talking to the realtor. They made it as now it's a B&B, $350 a night to rent it. You imagine $350 a night, 7 nights a week on a 5-week month. You can make your money easy. Now that thing paid off 4, 5, 6 years. You think for is a lot of money. Now that paid off no time. In the city, ain't that many apartments they had. They run up all the prices. Real estate's going crazy down here. Alright, let's keep it going. Well, guys, I gotta ask, so far so good? Everybody enjoying yourself? Yeah. Keep it going. Look at this beautiful square right here, guys, right here. This is a ring square under the thing of green right here, guys. Month you can make your money easy. Now that thing paid off 4, 5, 6 years. You think for is a lot of money. Now that paid off no time. You got no overhead. Own a parking lot up by Michigan Stadium, how much money you make. Make a killing. Now in front of us here, this is Washington Square, of course, named after GW. We're going to talk about this when we come right by here. Because what I'm going to do now, guys, we're going to get you into stop 7, okay? Now these two buildings I'm about to show you guys, we can't verify they are the oldest, but they're actually 2 of the oldest buildings in the state of Georgia. They've been here in some form of capacity since 1754. One was built as a trustee's herb garden. The other one's built as a saloon and tavern for pirates and sailors of the day. So we're right across the street and we'll talk about it. But I'm going to show you too, also the most famous tunnel in Savannah, where young men used to get shanghaied at. Let's check it out here in just a minute. Now, guys, slavery became legal here in January 1751, okay? Unfortunately, over 25,000 slaves were sold and processed since when they made slavery legal in January 1751. And also in 1760, we started importing slaves directly from West Africa to work the rice fields. And rice and indigo was our very first cash crop before we became rice slavery. We're going to delve into that a little bit later on once we get down here around all this stuff. But this is going to be stop 7 that we're going to come into right here.
Good afternoon. How you people doing?
Come in, don't you? Let's give you a quick little VIP tour, guys. It's really, we just started from right here, right down here by the tunnel with the opening, by the fireplace. She's going to engage you on. You've been Shanghai. What do you think? Look at, I used to give ghost tours in the late 70s. I can take my ghost and cut lights out. Go to, wait, look at these are 2 ventilation shafts right here. We're not embellishing anything. It's amazing. That's the most famous tunnel in Savannah. There's the room right here, right past aluminum. There's 10 ships a day leaving to go to Shanghai. Where do you think it started from?
They don't have their family ask where they went.
Of course. The what? The
Why
fire.
Shanghai?
You know, Shanghai just the biggest shipping channels for everything come from the opium wars. But that's how they would get their crews and work their ships. Again, nobody wanted to be a pirate. You're going to horse that sail, or I'm going to throw you over to, you're going to walk the plank with a cannonball tied to your ring. What you going to do? I'm going to start horsing the sail.
That's what I asked.
That's what you got to do, unfortunately. And get them. Come on, everybody. I think that's pretty cool. That is truly where young men used to get shanghaied to work pirate ships. It's pretty incredible. Something you ain't got to embellish at all.
This is to your left. In the front of it. See if I can
You talk about some old homes here, guys. Look at this blue home here about 30 feet on the right by the white truck here. If you care to, underneath the bottom of the blue boards here by the gutter. Look at this date plaque there by the bottom left window. It's right on your right. Look at that date plaque underneath the boards here, that blue board there. Okay, let me ask you a question. 1798. We're not trying to put anybody on the spot. We're having some fun on this tour. When did Lewis and Clark even leave to go discover the West? Anybody remember that date? Think about that for a minute. Compare that to that date. There you go. famous mansion in Savannah. Very exclusive place. Double staircase out front of it. What's cool about this double staircase here, I'm going to show you in just a second, everybody. It's got a boot scraper on either side of the outside railing here. I'm going to pull up right here and just show you some guys. Now, you ask what's a boot scraper. Look over my hand in a second. I'm going to show you what a boot scraper is. My hand here is going to portray a boot scraper. It's about the same size. It's a little thin piece of flat black metal. And man, we get all the scores right there. Look how it's even contoured at the top, ladies, to fit the Bible man. Look at the far side one, everybody. How it's even contoured at the top to fit the Bible man's boot from 1820. You had that before you get off your horse, walk up to the third steps with your boot on and through the boot scraper. Isn't that kind of cool? Original boot scraper. Now, if you look back, Charlie, I think this beautiful city of Savannah, these trees and that fountain. Man, you tell me that ain't a beautiful day to go out there and tell somebody you love them, you got your health, you got your sanity. Might be a good day to be thankful once in a while. You don't get no pretty in Savannah, Georgia, my friend. What a day to be thankful. God is good. Look at this mansion right here is my favorite mansion I just alluded to a minute ago. Look at this monstrosity. It's a 5.5 diamond built by William Keel, the owner and president of the Iron Foundry in 1892. He lived there with his wife and 10 kids. What's amazing about this home here to the right here, guys, architecturally, this home is actually iron. Anything on this home that is painted right here on the right, everybody, that column, anything you're making could do with wood. My thing could do with iron. So look at that window case. Here's a piece of flat iron. If you dare to, then ghost people. I'm a ghost fan. Look up at the second story window. You're going to see a lady looking out the window at you. That's Ann. She committed suicide in that room. That's room 204. One to consider one of the most haunted hotel rooms. Alright guys, coming to the stop 8 right here. This is the Owens Thomas house, one of the most premier homes of tour if you want to tour a private home here. Look at the original slave quarters here on the right, have been refurbished. Botanical garden. Very, very famous home. Let's go. Let's put this in fun light. Come on. Here we go, guys. Now when I get around the front of this home, guys, you look here. We're going to use the top of the front door as a reference point. We're going to curve that door with steam from 1819. There were a bunch of Lowe's and Home Depots in 1819. Last time you saw a curve going at $10 million house, they can't do it nowadays. When's the last time you saw our curve going at $10 million home? They don't even run it. Biggest beautiful square to our left here, of course, named after our founder, General James Evan Oakenfold. I think it's beautiful. That's the diameter. They cut it out so these trees don't act like cells, so they kind of give like palm trees small branch off of them. They're all big, but you'll see all these tree branches been cut off these trees. That's kind of what makes them sustain through these storms. They clean out all these small brush so they don't act like cells. Isn't that kind of cool? Look at all these big trees, and they're all big tree branches. Look, you see where everybody, look at all the branches been cut off these trees off of here. They keep them thinned out like that so they don't topple over. Again, this is right square. This monument out here in the center pays tribute to William Washington Gordon, the president and founder of the old Central Georgia Railroad. Coming to our left here, guys, Frederick Courthouse from 1899. Chief Chief Frederick Courthouse and Post Office. Getting a remodel job. I'm going to take you down to my favorite museum in all of Savannah, guys. It's going to be stop 9 on your map, okay? The Telfair. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Now this square coming to our left here about 10 seconds from the driver's side is the Telfair Square, buddy. The only square out of the 24 squares to be named after a family instead of an individual for their contributions about making Georgia the southernmost and last of the original 13 colonies to our left right here. It's kind of considered one of the crown jewels. I counted 11 weddings out here 1 week before the pandemic hit. All the ladies like to get married in Telfair Square. Now this square coming to our left here about 10 seconds from the driver's side is the Telfair Square, buddy. The only square out of the 24 squares to be named after a family instead of an individual for their contributions about making Georgia the southernmost and last of the original 13 colonies to our left right here. It's kind of considered one of the crown jewels. I counted 11 weddings out here 1 week before the pandemic hit. All the ladies like to get married in Telfair Square. Biggest beautiful museum out here in front of us, guys. We got any teenagers on board, you can name all these artists out here in front of you. You know all the Ninja Turtle boys. But let's check out this. It's my favorite museum here in Savannah. When I go to turn left right here on the right, everybody, the Telfair Academy of Arts and Science Museum right here. It opened in 1886. Thanks to Mary Telfair and a sizable cash endowment. She put these artists out here to act as heralds out here. Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, all the boys. Now back to the bird girl, guys. Right here, if you look at the black and the blue band right here, guys, that little bird girl statue, the man right here, she's inside the statue. So they actually moved her inside the museum in case they would rob her or damage or anything. So you can see the bird girl statue.
Is it okay,
Oh
hon?
man, I've always done play best
I
page.
feel bad.
There you go.
Thank you.
We got some room back there for you. Now, right out in front of us, everybody's at Jeff Center has all the modern contemporary, okay? How's all the modern contemporary work? There's a whole floor dedicated to kids out front. Wildflower Cafe on the bottom left, you just go to Roast Romantic Cafe. It's a great place to take your date. But we're going to go down to River Street, everybody, and talk about some cotton, white gold. Glad y'all still with us. Come on. They called cotton white gold. It was making so much money back in the day. I get out behind this little car right here, down to get out walking, might be a little faster. How's all the modern contemporary work? There's a whole floor dedicated to kids out front. Wildflower Cafe on the bottom left, you just go to Roast Romantic Cafe. It's a great place to take your date. But we're going to go down to River Street, everybody, and talk about some cotton white gold. Glad y'all still with us. Come on. They called cotton white gold. It was making so much money back in the day. I get out behind this little car right here, down to get out walking, might be a little faster. It's to be famous for being. I mean, they kind of celebrated. It's supposed to be extremely famously haunted here. Through the front of the trolley here in just a second. Look at these spooky eyes on the brick wall out front of us here. I've asked for 50 years, I can't get a definitive answer whether they're on the right. It's the one of the original post office. If you're on the right, I think they look pretty cool. Alright guys, come on, big fancy shopping street, Broad Street. In here, long, very fancy shopping street here, everybody. Broad Street, okay? Check it out. Let's go down and check it out for a second. Come on, here we go. Look to the right, guys, above the windows and the roof on some of these architectural details here, some of the original buildings. Some of that architectural things, guys, this famous street here, Broad Street. B-R-O-U-G-H-T-U-N, Broad Street. Everybody likes Broad Street. People are starting to come out after Christmas. Now, ladies coming up here past this red brick building on the left here, guys, is our Christmas tree before we take it down in 2 days. So if you get your camera ready coming on the driver's side, you get a glimpse of the beautiful Christmas tree. I think it's beautiful anyhow. Look back to our left here. I like Christmas.
We're in somebody's
Now just to our left. We got unique stores and shopping. Everybody likes Broad Street. It's not to be missed now. Pretty nice. Let's go talk about some cotton down here, guys. Let's see what's going on out here. Now, guys, when Sherman invaded Savannah, when he took over Savannah, look directly out in front of us, guys. That's the Cotton Exchange building about 1,000 yards out in front of us. We'll get right by it later, but look how beautiful that building is. Opened in 1887. We'll talk about being close to it. That's a beautiful perspective. Heavy-handed. Over to right here, look at the theater, guys. The Lucas Theater. It opened December of 1921. How beautiful it is. It showed movies till 1976 and went dark for 14 years. Scads come and bought it refurbished. Yes, sir. It's College Road, bought it reopened. They own 49 bills, like I said earlier. It's like a bad rash everywhere. They bring $600 million in revenue to the city. Yeah, it's very crucial to Savannah. big school for a little town this big. 14,000, big town. Savannah's a little town. Gonna be stop 10, guys. Now, guys, take note. The only stop we can't get in today is stop 12, okay? Because they got it blocked off. Left here, this little ramp above us about 50 feet in the air. That's called the factor's walk. A factor is just another term for a cotton broker. A cotton factor is just a broker. So the cotton, guys, like right up here, guys, those are the factor walks above us. So imagine 2 or 3 cotton brokers or factors up above us looking down at us as we're a mule John wagon pulling cotton back here during the cotton era days. Now, if you look down the alley 20 feet in here, imagine there's some cotton brokers or factors up here. Imagine look down this alley to our left up to a mile of mule John wagon. Far as the naked eye can see, just pull a mule John wagons, pull a cotton. You take the cotton, pull them around to the right here, take it to the back of these cotton rails that are now stores, restaurants, etc. But there's the famous Factors Walk and Factors Road. If you look down the river to our left on the driver's side, underneath the bridge about a mile, that's the port of Savannah, 3rd busiest port in America. How about that? But here we go, everybody. Let's come into River Street. Out by now. All right. No, it's right. These are the old cotton rails again where you store the cotton in. Now there's stores, restaurants. These railroad tracks used to bring the cotton down here after the mule John wagon days. Now across the river to our left, that's called Hutchinson Island. It's still considered part of downtown Savannah. That's our International Convention Center. And that's the Westin Hotel directly across from us. To our left. The river to our left out here, guys, the Savannah River only used to be 10 feet deep in fresh water. Now we dredge this river to a depth of over 45 feet deep. It's brackish water. It's hard to fathom that little river's not 200 yards wide. It's 45 feet deep on its shallowest point at low tide. You got to get your buckle shop all down here. Make you feel good to support local business. Now this is going to be stop 11 we're coming into, guys. We got 2 more stops, okay? 13 and 14. And we'll get you back to the Visitor Center, the Welcome Center. Anybody for 11? We're glad to let you out. Guys, we got the last 2 stops. That's the problem, that they need to add about 1 more hotel in this little corner. You know these hotels are at your left here on your screens. Now guys, we're kind of close to your hotel room again. We don't want you trying to make you walk, but you want to go back and ride all the way around Forsyth Park and behind 10 other people trying to get back to the hotel, so you ain't got one. All right, here we go. in there. The Bohemian. Right here, right here.
What did you say about Bohemia?
There's people like those people out looking for tea over there. We're coming up to the Grand Bohemian. I was telling those folks who waiting me down to come down to the Grand Bohemian. I'm trying to catch a trolley outside. This is going to be stop 13, guys. Now again, if you're close to me and stay around here, you're welcome. I'll get you back, everybody. We got one more stop.
Mary!
30 people got to come sit there with that button looking at me like I'm ready. That's why the button there's an activating the alarm for the walk sign. It's amazing that people got common sense. I got 20 people running out to hit the button. Wow. Yeah. Lulu's martini chocolate bar. Everybody likes chocolate and vodka. Everybody loves a 5,000 calorie drink. Why not? Get you back in just a minute, everybody. Lulu's martini chocolate bar. Everybody likes chocolate and vodka. Everybody loves a 5,000 calorie drink. Why not? Get you back in just a minute, everybody. Lulu's martini chocolate bar. Everybody likes chocolate and vodka. Everybody loves a 5,000 calorie drink. Why not? Get you back in just a minute, everybody. You started a tour.